everybody, it's your girl Melinda Michelle, and I just wanted to talk about something that happened today. You know, I swear me and God have the most entertaining adventures. So this morning when I was up reading, I was reading in the book of Joshua, which is one of my favorite books, and if I was ever going to have a Bible book, it would definitely be Joshua, because one, Joshua's about that life. Two, he was straight up, as for me and my house, we can serve the Lord. That brother had a made up mind, you heard? So anyway, one thing about the Bible this year, I want to do more than just read, but actually study to get understanding, maybe some more revelation and insight. And I was reading chapter 5 and 6, and when I got through parts of chapter 5, I was wondering, I was like, why did they have to go march for six days? I mean, 7 days, 6 times, and then the 7th day and all of that. And so I Googled it and found different commentaries. I read one, and then I read another one, and then I saw a link that led to something else, and I started reading that, and I was like, about 30 minutes had gone by, and I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be reading the Bible. And I was like, okay, so let me get back to it. Then I realized it was time for me to get up and get dressed for work. Something kind of was nagging at me to go ahead and continue reading. So I was like, let me go ahead and finish it. So I finished out chapter 6, and what stood out to me was when Joshua talked about, right before they shouted, he said, we're going to go in and we're going to destroy everything, only keep the gold and the silver and the bronze for the Lord's treasury, and get rid of everything else. And he said, don't take any of the devoted things, because you'll bring destruction on yourself. So I was sitting in my bed just thinking about what I had read, and I looked over at my bookshelf. Now, the fascinating thing about this story is that it was very rare for me to actually be in my room, because I actually sleep on the sofa, and I think I've only slept in my bed like 3 times this year, last night being the 3rd time. So it's not normal for me to be in my bedroom, and I've been struggling with, for the last couple of weeks, like, I need to sleep in my bed, like I really need to sleep in my bed. And then my body told me I need to sleep in my bed, because I'm almost 35 years old and I can't be sleeping on that little couch like that. I had to go to the chiropractor yesterday. The chiropractor was fussing at me. He said, why are you sleeping on the couch knowing you have a perfectly good bed? You know what, doc, that's a really good question. So like I said, it was odd for me to be in my room. Anyway, on the bookshelf, there was this fake book that I have. It's a really pretty book, but it's fake. And I was like, I wonder if I put something in there. You know, I could be extra and definitely a little dramatic. I say it would be just like me to put something in the doggone book. So I got out of bed and I went and I pulled it off the shelf and I opened it, and I was very disappointed because there was nothing in there. Like, I really felt some type of way, because I very much expected something to be in there. And but there was just this nagging feeling that I was supposed to find something. So I went, and there's a little decorative suitcase that I have on the next shelf down, and I was like, I opened it, I picked it up, and I opened it, and I began to flip through it. And the very last thing at the very bottom was a card from this guy that was in my life, and that's no longer there, because it was definitely not sent from God. He was definitely not sent from God. And so the card was very interesting, and I didn't even know it was in there. And it said something about, we have a telepathic connection, because I saw this card, thought of you, and now you're reading this card thinking of me. You know, it was signed or whatever, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know it was in there. And then there was like a receipt from something that I bought for him, and I don't even remember this stuff being in there. So I immediately ripped it all up and threw it away, and, you know, got rid of it. And I was like, okay, God, you know, thank you for revealing that. So you know, my books and stuff are about spiritual warfare, so I study a lot of different spiritual things, and there are definitely things that have evil spirits to them or demonic spirits to them. If there is something in your life that's left over residue from something that you know was not sent from God, I urge you to part ways with it, to throw it away, to burn it, to get rid of it, whatever it is. And so last night I was at a meeting with some friends in a Christian writers group, and the exercise that she had us do, she said whatever we pulled, whatever was on the card, that God was going to reveal things to us, and mine was watch as well as pray. And so I was like, wow, God, you know, thank you for revealing this. Now, I don't know what is tied to that spiritually. All I know is that God revealed it and he wanted me to get rid of it. So I urge you today, if there are things in your life that you got through a connection that you know is not from God, that you go ahead and get rid of it. And the funny thing about this guy is it was later revealed this man had a straight up spirit of the Antichrist. I mean, in order for us to be together, he definitely wanted to separate me from my God. He said, you know, you've been deceived. You need to unlearn. This is not for you. And I'm just like, I'm looking at this man like, God, you have got to be kidding me. Wow. Thank you so much for saving me from this, because there's no way I could do what I do, what God called me to do in all of these books, if it wasn't for, you know, if I was connected to that spirit. And I was like, wow, God, you know, thank you for saving me from myself, and thank you for revealing things that are in my life that I need to cut off. So I urge you today not to bring the things that are not of God into your camp. And I just wanted to encourage somebody today. Continue to be faithful, continue to be obedient. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.